get into character, guys. Chat, wait for your cue, and action. What's going on, everybody? So today I finally have a topic from Twitter for YouTube that I can actually take credit for. For once, I feel like I get to say I am the original content creator because I made the tweet. And I want to talk about it today, and that is why character loyalty is a mental shackle. I mean, that's a clickbait, it writes itself. There's a bit of a build up to this. So what happened was Rose has come out for Street Fighter V. One of our fellow FGC members here on the East Coast, iDrop, had this to say. Rose is a primary example of why people shouldn't get the characters they cry for. Haven't seen any of you Rose players stick with her except Justin. So if you don't know, a few people have been tweeting out about Rose and being hype about the character coming out, and then we had people like probably the one most famous example, Luffy. You know, he won Evo 2014 with Rose. Super excited for Rose to come out. He had this to say: unfortunately, Rose doesn't make up for me. I think she doesn't play a great role in a secondary for my needs with Mika's bad matchup. I'm a train Colleen again for upcoming CPT. I'm really sad about this decision. So basically, Luffy's saying Rose, kind of hard to play, maybe not that easy to pick up, maybe not top tier enough, doesn't really fill out a well-rounded roster for him to pair with this Mika to cover her bad matchups, which is a totally fair statement to make. And there's a lot to consider. For a top player in CPT. It's a bit different if you're just playing for fun. It's a bit different if this was earlier in the game's lifespan. But basically, we're in what's pretty much going to be the final season of Street Fighter V. So Luffy has to win tournaments now. It's now or never. So he doesn't really have all the time in the world to really play with the character if it's not going to make sense strategically for him to win immediately. So, you know, iDrop was kind of calling people out for that, which is funny because then Hoji had this to say, literally coming from the guy who dropped Sakura week 1 after he said he'd main her, lol. So maybe a bit of hypocrisy here from iDrop. Who knows? I cannot confirm or deny that this is the truth. But yeah, this is kind of the discourse that's going around. And it got me thinking a lot about character loyalty and how character loyalty is not always a good thing. Because in the FGC, for some reason, people tend to really celebrate character loyalty. And they despise or they look down upon people for switching to top tier characters. I mean, there's terms for it. There's tier whore. I don't respect this player. He's a tier whore. They spin the negative connotation to look down upon people for switching to top tier. It's funny to me because I think people might consider me a bit of a character loyalist myself, but that's not always been a positive thing for me. So I had this to say about it. Character loyalty is more of a mental shackle than a plus. You know how many players wish they could drop their main cold turkey and work on something better? So I'm speaking from experience here. I felt this myself, and I know plenty of players, and a lot of people resonated with this. There are some people who disagreed, but a lot of people were saying, wow, why'd you call me out like this? This is a personal attack. A lot of people resonate with this because it's a common thing that happens. A lot of the time, when you invest in a character, you become scared to make a change. So you're scared about the opportunity cost. What if I switch to another character to get better results? That might fit the meta better, but it causes me to lose in the short term, or it takes too long to adapt and start getting the wins later on, or switch to a new character and get to the same level as I was. And it's gonna take so long to see results further than where I am currently. And the other thing is, I just spent so much effort on my current character. Why would I switch, right? It's like sunken cost fallacy applied to competition. So it's not always people being loyal to their characters. Sometimes people are just afraid of change. A lot of character loyalists might be in that position, not because they have a sense of pride and they want to represent a character at all costs. It might just be due to emotional attachment and fear. It might just be fear. So it's always interesting to me how people say that, because to me, I really respect players who are able to switch at an instant, adapt to the meta, and win. And I think there's a bit of a disconnect between the more casual FGC members and the people who are really, really embedded in the tournament scene at a high level. Because obviously, if you're not competing in a tour format, like CPT really encourages this because you have to win. And there's players who are professional players and it is their job to win. Character loyalty be damned, right? They're trying to pick the best tool for them personally to get the job done. The styles they click with the best, and the characters that fit the meta the best that they can play effectively. So that's what people gravitate towards, right? I can really respect players who can forego that emotional fear, switch to the tool that they know will be most effective to get the job done, and adapt quick, because it's hard to switch characters. It's not easy to switch characters and play at a high level, but the best players in the world do that. The best players in the world switch. I mean, if you really think about it, Daigo, known for Ryu, but he switched to Guile. He switched to Guile and started doing work in Street Fighter V. He did it in Street Fighter 4. He played Ryu, switched to Yun when Yun was top tier, switched to Evil Ryu when Evil Ryu was top tier. Your favorite players do this. It's something that I've had to learn, because if you didn't know, I was actually a part of a little thing called Street Fighter League. So I wanted to give an example of how it applied to me. I was in Street Fighter League Season 1. I had just come off a hot weekend at Final Round CPT. I got top 8, cooked all your favorite players, did amazing at a premiere, and I got voted in to Street Fighter League Season 1. And then I showed up and they said, hey, cross your arms real quick. This is esports, don't you understand? And they took this photo of me. But what was interesting is they actually have a very in-depth website, streetfighterleague.com, with all of the history of Street Fighter League seasons. So Season 1, they have all the matches here. And I thought it was pretty interesting to look back at how these matches went. So here's week 1. You know, we got smoked. I think it was 3-0. We got destroyed. Knuckle Dude beats my ROG. Cool. Let's move forward to maybe like week 4. What's going on week 4? Okay, Inferno defeats me. Get smoked. Cool. Playing ROG, getting smoked. What's happened with week 5 here? What happened when we played Team Frost? Nephew defeated me, but he defeated my Abigail. And then it slowly started to happen more and more. If you don't know how Street Fighter League works, since the first season, they had a character ban. I wasn't targeted for the first couple of events. First couple of them, I was smooth sailing, playing my ROG, doing my thing. But then I started getting banned. And at this time, I had dabbled with Abigail. I'd played him in Season 3 a little bit when he was busted. Then he got nerfed and I dropped him. So I really did not have a secondary. I always thought, man, it's too much work to pick up a secondary. ROG can do it. I'm trying to like convince myself that ROG can handle every matchup and he's an okay character. And then I started getting banned. And then I was like, okay, I lose once at getting banned. Sure, whatever. Not a big deal. And then I play another team and I get banned again. And I'm playing Abigail. And I'm like, man, I did not practice any Abigail. I came into this raw expecting to play some ROG, you know? We go up against Frost again. And once again, I'm playing Abigail. I had to play Abigail a lot this season because they would target me because they knew I was more of a character specialist, a character loyalist. And so it was effective to ban me because if they banned Justin Wong, he could play many characters effectively, or Psycho, for example. But I was like the target because they could ban me easily and I would be useless at that point. So this is the event that motivated me, made me realize I need to learn the secondary. If this is the way esports is going, banning characters, I got to learn a secondary. So I learned G. I finally sat down and picked up G, and I really got my G going. And I always regretted not having my G or not having any of my pocket characters at the level that I have them now at this time. And really what was going on at this time, Season 3 was the worst season for me of all time. Season 3, let's get this guy out of here. Season 3, Balrog was low tier. After the Season 2 high, Season 3 was terrible. And I stuck with him, and I knew it was a waste of time. But I was too scared to switch. And I didn't want to put in the effort. I was like, I'm still getting good with this character. And this event forced me to switch. It forced my hand. And once I got over that hump, I realized it's not that bad. It's not that bad playing a new character. It's not that bad balancing my time and efficiency between multiple characters. So really, I was just holding myself down. I had this fear of change, which prevented me from branching out and learning new characters to win more matchups. There was no sense of, I want to win only with ROG. I just wanted to win. I just thought the best way for me to win was to invest only in one character with everything I had. Once I started picking up G, I still use G to this day in certain matchups. You know, it's a matchup thing. I just try to pick the best tool to win. And I'm so much happier doing that. I'm so much happier just trying to win and play the game. And I think that's a talent that you have to accrue. And I really respect players who can do that. So a lot of people, they don't really respect that. They had a lot of weird opinions. They had opinions like this: Brian, I love your Street Fighter and general fighting game talks, but I don't agree. If we all sat down and played Seth and Street Fighter, all sat down and played Fox and Super Smash Bros. Melee, our crowds would stagnate. It's probably why BB Tag hasn't died yet. There's at least 10 top tiers where the variety is still there. Interesting. So I guess he's saying that the BB Tag meta is less stagnant and more developed than Street Fighter or Melee, even though those games have much more esports incentive and much more players playing for a living in those other games. I'm not sure what he's getting, unless he's trying to imply that the top Melee players are just playing for fun and not for their paycheck, and the top Street Fighter players are playing for fun and not a paycheck either. I'm a little bit confused with what they're thinking. So at no point did I say, hey, everybody play top tier? You must play top tier. I know half the comments are going to be people saying, oh, you're just being a tier whore and you're telling everyone to play top tier and to be so boring. At no point did I say that. I'm just trying to make it clear that for some people and some players, it's a real fear. Some people who are character loyalists are actually just scared to make a change. And if you're just playing for fun, if you're a mid-level player, a low-level player, you're just playing casually, obviously this doesn't apply to you. This is about the high-level player who is trying to win and is unable to adjust with the meta and scared of change. There's a lot of players out there like that, and at low level, I think you just got to get good. Play what you have fun with. If you want to switch, switch. If you don't want to switch, don't switch. I'm not telling everyone to play top tier, and even then, games are balanced enough. If everyone picked top tier, there's still going to be top tiers that appeal more to your style than others, and some characters you mesh well with more than others, and then there's going to be matchups. So if everyone played top tier, there would still be matchups. There's still going to be a mid tier that beats the top tier. There's still going to be a low tier that beats the other top tier. There will still be matchups. The meta will always be moving. So my main message here is don't feel scared to try something new. If there's a matchup you're struggling with, try a new character. A new character that comes out and they look fun, give them a go. You might pick something up, you might find a better tool for tournament, and you can do it. It's a complex decision, especially with the final season of Street Fighter V. Towards the end of a game, it's hard to switch because there's not enough time left. But generally, I will say there's more time than you realize. That's what I realized. Around season 3, after season 3 to season 4, I realized I was a fool for not just picking up another character sooner. There was enough time to do that. Don't be scared to try new things. You might have fun with a new character and you might win some more games and have a blast while doing it. By the way, we hit 50K subs on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for everyone subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate the support. It's been an awesome ride. So if you want to contribute to the growth, feel free to hit that sub button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Yep, that's it. Peace.